I disagree. I think
What?
it's yeah. Like when I fall in love with somebody, I can't help it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fallen in love with them.
Yes, you can help it.
No, I cannot.
Don't hang out with
can't.
them again, and then you're not going to fall in love with them.
Mark, there's been people where I never hang out with them, and I still love them.
So you're saying you can meet some guy right now and be in love with him?
Well, like it would take more than one time.
Exactly. So it's a choice. You choose to hang out with him again and again and again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Two-Man Show featuring Mark and
Trisha.
This week we talked about Logan's fight. That's what we did. I was out of town. I talked about my trip to Morocco and Paris. And then also we got on the topic of love.
We did.
And we talked about, guys, and we want to know your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. Do you think love is a choice or a feeling? Me and Trisha disagree on this. We got into it a little bit. But yeah, drop a like, guys. And if you guys are listening on a podcast app, please rate us 5 stars so Trisha and I can climb the charts.
What's good?
Let's get into it. And we're back. We missed last week's episode because I was out of town. Trisha, how are you?
I'm good. You were actually out of the country.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the same thing as out of town.
Well, you like it just sounds dramatic.
Yeah, sorry we missed you guys. You're always covering your damn face.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, we got to see your face over here. I went to Paris. Well, I went to Morocco first.
Okay.
I did this charity soccer event. Guys, if you ever get the chance to go to Morocco, it's absolutely incredible. I thought, oh shit.
Turn
no.
Turn your
Daisy
phone.
Keach.
What's Daisy saying?
We're creating some content together.
Nice.
Yeah. Here, I have some stuff written down about Morocco. I thought, it's in Africa, so I was expecting, you get to Morocco and it's just going to be desert, cactuses. No. Not where I went. I landed in Casablanca, and then just let me backtrack this crazy travel day.
Okay.
I fly to Paris. Layover from Paris to Casablanca, get to Casablanca, get in a car, drive 2 hours to Marrakesh in Morocco. So then we have this dinner in Marrakesh that night with the king. He organized it. They have a king? They have a king there. He wasn't there, but he organized the dinner.
Okay.
And got to meet these very cool people, like the biggest actor in Morocco. Trey Songz was there. I'll tell you about that in a second.
What the heck?
Yeah, and then these two UFC fighters who are the biggest in Morocco, Abu and Atman. But anyways, we have a good time in Marrakesh. And then when we get to Marrakesh, the next day we take an hour plane ride to the desert and to the Western Sahara to watch this charity soccer game. And if you guys are soccer fans, I met Luis Figo. He's a legend of Portugal. You even DM me about him.
I love watching Portugal soccer.
Yeah. And let me tell you something about Morocco. I thought LA clubs were fun. They shit on.
Oh, no.
They are getting shit on by Morocco. I texted Eli, our friend who's a part-time owner at Warwick, and I told him, yo, you guys got to step up your game. Did you see my stories?
Yes. People in other countries have the best nightlife. The best
Not
nightlife.
to mention, our clubs close at 2 a.m.
Theirs is what,
They
4 or
start
5?
at 2 a.m.
No way.
I got home at 6:45 a.m. because they're going so hard.
I've heard a lot of great things about Morocco.
But it's very interesting, their culture. And this is the reason, if you ever get a chance to travel, go to a different, country to really just see how people live, it was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
All of our clubs is girls, right? Bottle service girls, and girls drive the traffic. All of Morocco was guys. The bottle service people were guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bringing bottles to the table, guys.
Guys. There were pretty much all dudes at the club, barely any women. And this is actually really interesting. So you can't bring back a girl to your hotel room.
Really?
If you're American, you can bring back an American girl. But if you meet a Moroccan girl, she's not allowed to come to your hotel room.
Wow.
We had a friend that was there, and they were giving us a hard time. No one was getting with her. She was just our friend. There was a group of us, and we were just they wouldn't let her come back and just hang out. It's insane. Everyone smokes cigarettes.
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah. In the club too, which you can't smoke inside here. And then all they eat is lamb.
I don't like lamb.
You don't like lamb? Why?
It's too gamey.
What do you mean?
In Assyrian, we have a word called shocha, and it's like a gamey smell, and I can taste it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Beef, it's not gamey. Beef tastes like beef.
But lamb is I was so sad because they brought out like the whole lamb.
I know, with the head and everything.
No, there was no head, but like.
Oh, Middle Easterns will bring the whole thing sometimes.
It's just sad because it's a baby sheep. It's like a baby.
Yeah.
God, I felt so guilty. I gained 8 pounds eating food. All they eat is bread, couscous, lamb.
It's because you weren't on my meal prep.
I know, right? But yeah, the clubs were insane. I had a great time. Really dope experience. And then I had a 12-hour layover in Paris, which might I add, Paris had the worst customs I have ever dealt with in my entire life. There was probably like 800 people. There was 2 planes that landed at the same time. There was one guy working. That's how long it took to get into Paris.
Do you not have the global entry thing? Does that not count?
I don't know if that works.
It doesn't count unless you come back to America, right?
I got into America in 2 seconds.
Oh my God.
If you guys are traveling to America and you're American from another country, use mobile passport. You could skip the whole line if you had to do it on your phone. But yeah, then I got on a flight. I stayed up all night in Paris, hung out with a female there.
Nice.
And then I flew back to LA and landed just in time for Logan's fight.
Yeah, I don't know how you came back home and then we were like out the door within 5 hours of you being home.
Yeah, I was gassed. But let's talk about Logan's fight. What'd you think?
Let's talk about it. The whole experience in and of itself, like our friend did that whole thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like from the press boxes to like us actually going to the fight. Like it was so cool knowing that like that's somebody we're close to. That like, I mean, I think he should have won. I don't know why he didn't with all the prep.
Right.
But well, like, I really don't know what happened.
Yeah. So the whole experience actually just like, it's regardless win or lose, it's truly incredible. Like what they pulled off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I saw something that DAZN, Eddie Hearn, the guy that I think he owns DAZN, I'm not sure. Whatever, the guy that was involved said that like they had the most viewers of any fight that
it's insane
that streaming services had. And it's just like 2 YouTubers fighting.
Right.
And the whole place was packed. Like everyone was screaming. It was like a real atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was awesome to watch. Getting into the fight itself, I went to the London one. And I don't know, it's so frustrating standing there cheering and screaming and like you're trying to tell him like what to do, but he can't hear you.
He can't hear you, and he's probably zoned out at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like so frustrating because like you see things I'm sure that he doesn't see. And yeah, honestly, I don't know how he didn't win.
I give him so much props though.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't pay me enough to step into a ring with somebody, let alone in front of all those people, in front of like.
Oh, there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
But he should have won.
He should have.
His physique was way better. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why he lost, but it fucking pisses me off. And it's so frustrating to see him lose. And did you see Jake's video?
No.
Jake was like crying after.
Really?
In the locker room. Jake took the loss harder than Logan did. Which honestly, like props to Jake. I feel like it was dope to see him be emotional and frustrated.
Yeah.
Because it is frustrating.
I think because he saw all the behind the scenes too of like how hard he prepped for it.
Right.
Like,
isn't that crazy that all that preparation, months and months and months
and
and
a day,
hours,
and a couple hours goes by like this.
And it's 3-minute rounds, 18 minutes, it's all gone. It's like, that's insane. Obviously, it's a big payday.
Yeah.
Did you see Justin Bieber was there?
Yeah.
He was sitting over kind of by you.
He was sitting like to the left of us.
Yeah.
But we saw him in that like
honestly, I was looking over at him a few times. He looked like the most worried.
Oh, he was standing up.
Yeah,
like,
he was standing up. He had his
stressed.
hands on his head. He's like in shock the whole time.
Can we talk about how Justin Bieber was there?
Yeah, it's really cool. So was Wiz Khalifa.
I saw Wiz Khalifa too.
Dan Bilzerian was there.
Saw him too.
Did you see the fake Ed Sheeran?
Yes. Okay. I thought he was like an actual Ed Sheeran. I was like, Olga, look, Ed Sheeran. She goes, what? And the guy behind us was like, that's not really him. I'm like, dude, it looks exactly like him.
So I saw him when I first came in and I was like, that's not Ed Sheeran, but the dude looks just like Ed Sheeran. I knew right away, and they did a prank. They released the video. Everyone was going over to take pictures with this guy.
We saw a couple of people.
I'll put a picture of him on the screen if you guys are watching. I thought it was so funny because everyone, like Amanda did a video with him. Summer Rae took a picture with him.
Are you serious?
Everyone took FaZe Rug. Like everyone was like, yo, I'm with Ed Sheeran.
So they got that close to him and still thought he was, because once I saw a picture, I was like, dude, like, come on. That's not
No, I could tell in person. I don't know. He didn't look. He looked like him, but like I could tell it wasn't him. Just the way he carried himself. Yeah. I feel like celebrities, you could just tell like the way they carry themselves.
Also, did you feel like everybody that like attended, we were all in such a good mood. Everybody was there in a great mood. It was like an Olympics for all of us.
Well, yeah, because we were all there for Logan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone was really hyped up.
It was a really
and then
cool
after,
experience.
honestly, like, oh, did you see Vitaly and Bradley Martin get the fight?
I saw the video, and then because that was at the end, right, when they were like talking. I saw the video after, and I'm like, first off, what happened? Second, I love how he just apologized right after, like nothing happened.
Well, yeah. So here's what happened from my perspective. I was in the front row, and I was watching the interview, and all of a sudden, Vitaly just pushes past Summer and pushed us out of the way, like get out of my way type shit. And we're like, dude, what the fuck is this guy doing? You could tell he was on a mission. He was like beelining it towards the ring. I think he was trying to jump the fence. You know how he does like the streaking, he streaked the Super Bowl, he streaked the World Series, the World Cup. Like he's done everything. The finals of the NBA. So I think he was trying to pull some stunt to like promote his website.
Yeah.
And like you should have seen the security in the boxing ring.
Good for them.
They just sniffed it out. They saw him like pushing through everyone. They're like, they knew probably that he was going to try some shit. So then anyways, he comes back past me. He's like, hey, excuse me. He was so nice on the way back. And I was like, okay, like you just pushed through us and then now you're nice. And then like whatever, 2 minutes go by. And then all of a sudden there's a huge fiasco to my left. And I see Bradley swing at Vitaly. And if you look at the video, like everyone's reaction was hilarious. They were like, what the fuck is going on? But he like choked him. I thought it was a prank or something. But then I saw Bradley like actually punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And I asked Bradley after, I was like, yo, was that like a stunt for like a video? Like whatever, you guys trying to get like make a video? He's like, no, dude. Like, he's like, I thought he was joking when he first like flexed up. So I flexed up against him and then he like hit me in the neck and it actually hurt. And then he's like, then I punched him.
First off, I just recently met Bradley, right?
Yeah.
Why of all people are you going to step to that kid?
Dude, right?
Like of all people you could have messed with, why him?
Probably because of his size. I mean, Vitaly's a big dude.
Not like Bradley though.
Yeah, Bradley's massive.
Yeah.
But Vitaly's also jacked. But yeah, then I think Vitaly just like apologized right after.
Like immediately after. And I'm like, is this guy okay?
Probably just doing it for the video or whatever.
Oh God.
But you know what's crazy? So I'm not a fighter. Mark? I'm not a fighter at all. But after the fight, we went to the club. I was kind of in a shitty mood on the way there just because like bummed out that Logan lost. But
yeah, we all kind of were sad.
We get to the club, whatever, we're having a good time. They didn't have any. Usually when we go to like the club, there's like bottles, right?
Yeah, it was like an hour went by, right?
No bottles, and obviously no YouTubers reaching in their pocket to buy any bottles because everything's supposed to be free to us. So pretentious. So it was our friend Justin's birthday, and me and his friend Julia, who's a really, really sweet girl, she was like, hey, we should get Justin like a round of drinks or whatever for his birthday at midnight. Yeah, because it was midnight and still we had no bottles. I was like, why don't we get a bottle? Like we can all split it, whatever. She's like, okay, cool. So I order a bottle. By the way, a bottle of Patron at the club, $750.
Pre-tip or like after tip?
I don't know.
Regardless.
$700. Thankfully, we split it. But $750 for a $50 bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
The markup is
That's
insane.
Crazy.
Ridiculous. I don't know why people buy bottles. I did.
That's what I'm saying. Like, regardless, you still
I
bought
split
a bottle.
it. I wouldn't have bought the whole thing.
Yeah.
And my other buddy was like, yeah, I'll throw down too. I was like, all right, cool. So we bring this bottle out. Happy birthday, Justin. Whatever. Things are going good.
He was so happy.
Yeah, of course. He just turned 21. It was his 21st. So bottle's gone in 20 seconds because everyone just helps themselves to it because no one pays for anything.
And it wasn't, it wasn't like there was 3 people at the table. There was a good
40 people.
40, and then it escalated to like 300 people at that table by the time we left.
Yeah, and like I said, no one in LA will buy anything because they think everything needs to just be given to them. But anyways, my friends came and they were outside and I was like, oh, keep in mind, before this, I went to the bar because the whole bottle was gone. So I went to the bar with Jennifer Mez to get a drink. And at a bar, like when you're trying to order a drink, it's very packed.
Yeah.
Everyone's there reaching. And you kind of have one arm on the table and the person next to you has one arm and like your credit card's out. Like, hey, come pick me, basically. So I'm standing there and this guy says some shit to me like, you better back the fuck up. And I'm like, excuse me? He starts talking. She said, back the fuck up or I'm going to hit you. I was like, what the fuck? And obviously my testosterone was running after
the fight and like alcohol.
Yeah, I had a couple drinks. And I just remember like we got into it for a second and Jenna like stopped me, but I can't remember because I was like a little fucked up. But that was the near first fight of the night. Okay. So then I calmed down and then my friends texted me like, hey, we're out front. Can you come grab us? Keep in mind, this is a club that I don't usually go to, so I don't have like any connects there. I was like, yeah, for sure. I'll come get you. So I go outside and I try to go down this one hallway. There's basically 2 hallways. And the guy's like, he's like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab my friends. He's like, oh, go to this hallway. And I was like, all right, go to the other hallway. There's another doorman there. Older guy, probably like 50 or 60.
Right.
He's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just grabbing my friends. He's like, oh, you got to go back to the other door. That's where they come in. This is the exit. And I was like, I mean, he just sent me over here.
It was really confusing.
Yeah.
Like
he's like, he just sent me over here. He's like, no, you got to go over there. So I go back over here to this other guy. He's like, no, go back to the other guy. I go, bro, I just went over there. He said, come over here. He's like, trust me, go over there. Tell him this, and that. I go, okay, cool. I go over there. I was like, hey, man, this guy told me to come back over here. And I'm sick of going back and forth. I'm just trying to get my 3 friends who are standing right here. He's like, no, you need to leave and then come back in through the door. I go, my guy, I just bought a bottle at the table. I'm at a table. And these are my 3 friends. Can you just let them in, please? He's like, no, you got to leave. He's like, what table are you at? Like, I work at the freaking club, and I know that I'm at table. I come to find out table 12. Like, how am I supposed to know I'm at table 12? I don't work at the restaurant.
Right.
All right. So anyways, so I'm like, hold on. Let me figure this out. So I text the bottle service girl, who's my friend. I said, hey, what table are we at?
Yeah.
Standing there waiting for her to reply. She's working. She doesn't respond. I'm not even kidding you. I'm sitting there just looking at my phone, waiting. The guy grabs me by my shirt with 2 hands by the neck and throws me out.
That's why you were so mad.
Yes. I was literally standing there waiting for the girl to reply. And this 50 to 60-year-old like bouncer grabs me and throws me. And my friends saw it. They saw I did nothing, that I was literally just standing there. So I start fucking screaming at this guy. The security guy comes up, like a police officer with like a bulletproof vest. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to like fight with anyone or anything like that. I was like, this guy literally just grabbed me and threw me, and I was literally standing there. He's like, he was telling you to get out, this, and that. I go, dude, he told me to find out what table I was at. Anyways, so I'm screaming, I'm heated, and then I'm like, I calm down.
What the heck?
Yeah, I calm down. We both calm down. Then the guy at the door goes, who are you here with? And I was like, Roman. And he's like, oh, come in. all of that to just get let back in the club with my 3 friends.
You were so heated when you came back into. You're like, oh no, I just want to fight that doorman. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, because
like,
I've never been treated so terribly in my life. I was like, and I wasn't doing anything. Like I acknowledged, like the one time I tried to fight the bouncer with George, that was my fault. At the Ace family after party, that was my fault. But this one, genuinely, I was standing there, and my boy even hopped in, and he was like, because he was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, this is.
We've
ridiculous.
had our encounters with like doormen that like take their job way.
Yes.
Even in Arizona, oh my god, like there was this one doorman, and he worked at the Mint. And if you've been to Arizona, you know what the Mint is. Like me and my friends, like we would roll in like 6 deep, like 6 of us, right? And girls, when you go to Arizona, when you go anywhere, pretty much, girls get in no problem
for free. Yeah.
There was something about this guy. I don't know what it was. He would not let girls in, like at all. So there, like we would always have an issue with him.
Would you let guys in, or just no one?
He would let the most random people that you're like, this is who you're gonna let in, like just a random across the board, right?
So your ego is clashed. You're like, you're not letting me in. I'm the hottest girl here.
I mean, I didn't say that. I just went somewhere else. I'm like, have fun. This isn't even that like popping of a place, but yeah, some people just take their jobs way too seriously.
My favorite thing ever is when people like pull out their Instagrams. They're like, do you know who I am? just
like, you don't want to let me in? Great. I'm going to take these heels off and go home.
That was interesting. Let's talk about you. You're homeless right now.
I wouldn't say homeless because we have great friends around us that I'm staying with. I'm staying with Simi right now. Me and Olga are there because the house that we're moving into isn't quite ready yet.
Right.
So if anybody out there is like building a house, just know that whatever date they give you, it's probably not going to be done by that date.
Right.
So
what's that been like living with Simi?
It's been honestly beautiful. Like Simi makes me feel like I'm at home. Like she's the most kind-hearted. Like,
is Olga with you too?
Yes.
Oh wow, 3 chicks.
3 chicks.
Does Simi live alone?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she lives alone. So it's just, I mean, it's been really fun. Like I'm normally with Georgie all the time, so like spending time with like girls only is nice too, because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, George was supposed to live with me. He was living here for a week, like while I was in Morocco. And I came back, and his cat was here, which was annoying. And then I come and I go to the whatever. He's supposed to live with me for. He's like, yeah, I could be here for like 3 days. I could be here for 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, whatever. That's cool. Fine, whatever. Come back from the gym, and then I go to a meeting, and I come back, and all of his stuff's gone. And I was like, what the hell? I texted him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to live at Logan's. His guest house is like completely empty, so I'm just gonna live there.
Are you and George even friends anymore?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I know. He quits the podcast, and then he moves in with me, then he moves out. But George, he made a good point. He was like, look, dude, I don't want to like bother you. And then also he's like, I haven't been alone since I lived alone 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he moved in with us, and then he moved in and had you there, and Olga, and he's like, I just want some time to myself, like to have like the guest house to myself, so I don't have to bother anyone and just be free. So, which I get.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah,
everybody needs that.
But I'm at the point now where I'm always alone.
Yeah.
So I did want him to be here, but whatever.
It's okay. You can always come hang out with us.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
When do you guys move? Do you know?
So it's gonna be like 2 weeks, but 2 weeks is Thanksgiving. I'm not even gonna be here for Thanksgiving.
Or how long are you going home for Thanksgiving?
Like 6 days.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm going home for a whole week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was worried because I'm going home Tuesday through Monday. I'm going to Chicago actually.
I'm going Tuesday to Tuesday.
Oh my God, perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Nice.
I need a break from LA. I thought Morocco was going to
sure.
be like a recharge, but it wasn't, because I was just on the go. The whole time difference thing, everything was hectic. And
you were like working, right? Yeah. It's not a trip unless you can completely like unplug, not vlog, nothing.
Right. You went to Sunday service, Kanye West.
Oh my God. Okay, so my sister and my cousin came into town, and my sister's boyfriend were here for the weekend. By the way, when we were moving, like they came in too. So I was so like grateful that they were here. And they're like, we're coming into town because Joe wanted to go to Sunday service. I'm like, you guys.
How do you get tickets to this, by the way?
You just go online and buy them. They were like $40. Yeah.
Oh wow. You have to pay to go to church.
But it wasn't okay. So
so Kanye West is making money off of religion.
Well, listen, let me tell you something.
That sounds dope.
So for like my sister texted me, she goes, do you and Georgie want to go? And we're like, nah, we don't really care. Like if we go, we go. So they got me and Georgie tickets, and Georgie shows up in a full, like his shirt like tucked in, like dress pants,
like ready for
whatever.
church.
Ready for church. I'm like, Georgie, you know this isn't church. Like we're going to the like a concert hall. He's like, it's not church. I'm like, no. So we get in, and it was like we walked in, and it was like birds were chirping, and like somebody was like quietly playing the piano, flowers everywhere, like greenery it was like a dream walking into like I've never seen anything like this. It was just so calm and peaceful. And then we go in and we sit down, and they start the service. I don't know if you saw my story of them like
I just saw them singing.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Oh, so it's not real church. Like you don't go get the body of Christ and
stuff.
No.
It's not real church.
It's a mini gospel concert.
Exactly. And then they had 2 pastors that like delivered a word. So even if you weren't religious, like if you can experience this, I would tell you to go experience this. Just because like the talent that was behind it. Like I don't know if you heard his new album. A lot of people are like, oh, this is not a good album. This is not a good album. But when I heard
he's trying to change music, I think.
But when I heard it, I literally pictured the concert, because I'm like, this album isn't meant to be like listened to on your phone. This is like a gospel, like you're in church, and like this is what they sing. It was just so cool, and like everybody was hype.
Yeah.
Like a couple of people were like making fun of it because they weren't religious, but at the end of it, like they were up and they were dancing, and it was a great experience.
So he's not like making. It's more of a concert.
Yeah.
Than a mass.
Yeah, it's just called Sunday service because it's like
I thought it was like a
church.
whole like actually go to church, like charge people.
I mean, no, they were serving like concessions. People had beer and like drinks. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't church because like people were drinking. No, no. But it was really cool. Also, I love Kanye West.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what else is cool?
What? Mark?
Yo, guys, I interrupt this episode of the podcast to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best men's below-the-belt grooming there is. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. You ever been shaving your family jewels and you mess them up and then they start bleeding? Well, guess what? Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. What do you think about that, Trisha? Accidents are finally a thing of the past. You don't use the same trimmer on your face as your balls. That's just nasty. Let me tell you, you don't want to mix those two up. Manscaped also has the crop preserver and anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting it on your balls? It's the smelliest part of your body. Guys, take care of your nutsack. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MARK, M-A-R-K, at manscaped.com. That's MANSCAPED.com. Always use the right tools. Your balls will thank you. That's, again, 20% off and free shipping with the code MARK at manscaped.com. Code MARK.
The internet is a weird place.
Hey, you got to take care of them testes, man. You wouldn't know, but things get rough down there.
I could only imagine.
Manscaped. So, you know, when I go out, I take a disposable camera with me, right?
Yes. Did you do that for the fight?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But I've been doing it. I haven't developed them. They're all sitting on my dresser in my room. I kind of want to wait like a few months and see, look back on memories that I've captured. But anyways, there's been a few instances where I've gotten Liddy McSplitty and lost and lost the disposable camera.
Okay.
3 of them to be exact. I take them out. I take a bunch of dope photos and then I end up misplacing it or giving it to someone and forgetting that I give it to them. Anyway.
Okay.
I don't know if I talked about this, but
I don't remember you ever talking about it.
Okay, cool. I was at the one party that everyone goes to at that rave house. Or
after party?
Yeah, the after party place. I was going to say the address, but don't want the people out there
Definitely
to know.
don't.
Yeah. And I was just standing there, and this girl comes up to me, and she goes, "Oh, my God, I have a bunch of photos of you." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, like I was getting my disposable cameras developed, and I got the photos back, and they're all of you."
Oh, my God. At that party?
Yes. I was like, "No way." I was like, "Can you send them to me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then while I was in Paris, she sent them all to me. Like she must have picked my camera up and thought it was hers.
Right.
So I didn't misplace it. Maybe she just grabbed it on accident.
That's sweet.
And she got them all developed. And there's some pretty hilarious photos.
Really?
Dude, they're like, I don't know where she got them. Like all of our faces are super red, which when I get mine developed, they're not red. So I don't know if she like went to some weird place.
Were you at a weird party?
No, it was at the Deadmau 5 concert.
Deadmau 5.
But like, here I'll throw like a photo on the screen. But like, look how red I am.
Oh yeah, but that's you. Look red.
It was weird, and everyone's red, not just me.
Right.
So I wonder if she went to some weird place to get them developed. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That's so cool. That's like a nice gesture that she did.
Right?
Physically mail you the pictures.
No, she didn't get them printed. She just got them digital, and then gave me a Dropbox link.
That's still really nice.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Do you know what I hate?
What?
Is when I have like free time, I just do a mass FaceTime call to everybody on my list. I'm just like, if you're not answering, I'm just going to call you. I'm just going to call you. Nobody answers, when you have free time. Like I'm just sitting at home, like, I'll call my brother. My brother doesn't answer. Oh, okay, I'll call my friend. My friend doesn't answer. Yeah. So I just like call like 4 people. And then when you're in the middle of doing something, everybody calls back.
Yep.
Just answer my FaceTime.
That's so relatable. There's times when I'm like just bored or alone and I'm like, I kind of feel like talking to someone right now.
Yeah.
I'll FaceTime them and just have a conversation. And then, that shit happens. I did
all the time.
I did that when I was at the club in Morocco. I was like, you know what? I want to share this moment with some people back home. I couldn't hear anything. I just FaceTimed like a list of people and was just filming the DJ booth. Cause dude, it's insane. They had like flamethrowers, they had confetti, and I couldn't hear a word they were saying, and they couldn't only hear blasting music, and I just hung up.
I thought the nightlife in Miami was like crazy, but then I saw your stories and like all like the videos. I'm like, oh, this is on a like next level.
Yeah, listen to me right now, guys. Go to freaking Morocco.
Next level.
Go to Europe. Go to some other country and have a good time. They have a better time than we have.
Facts.
And speaking of Europe, I was with actually a really dope group of people. I was with Christian Del Grosso, Peaks, Twan, Christian's girlfriend, several others, and we got on this interesting topic. And I want to ask your thoughts on this.
I'm scared.
Do you think that what do you think is like for us beyond our physical deaths, like our body? Do you think that like there's energy and like a soul that lives better or lives on?
Yeah, I believe in heaven and hell.
But what do you believe happens after? Do you believe that like we're just...
Yeah, your soul leaves your body. Like your body is nothing after that. Your soul either ascends or
do you feel like so for example, my grandparents have passed away. Do you feel do you think that they can just come into the room when they want to and be in the room? Do you believe in like mediums?
Here's the thing. I do, because the Bible does talk about people having those talents, or like that. It is a talent, pretty much. People like being able to speak to those. Yeah, gifted. There you go. Yeah. Like my grandma has passed away too, and I feel her at different points. Like I know it's her. Like,
do you think they're always watching?
Yeah.
What if you're doing something bad?
What else are they doing?
What if you're doing something bad? They're sitting there watching?
Maybe. I'm like, hey, grandma.
Because we got on the talk, one of my friends is saying that his cousin was a medium, and like there was an experience that she felt the presence of another person's family member in the room that she'd never met nor would have known.
Yeah.
And was telling the person, hey, just so you know, your mom's here. And she like some shit like that happened.
Yeah, I do believe that. Like there are people that can feel that, and that's weird. But then at the same time, like you have to ask the question: is that spirit still here? Like has it passed on? Like where is?
Well, there's no question. We've talked about it. Energy exists.
Of 100%.
Like we talked about it, like talking about someone and then they shoot you a text message or what. Like you feel the energy,
right?
So it has to exist. Like,
yeah.
Like your energy has no mass is never gained or destroyed, or energy. I don't know how physics works, but it's got to go somewhere.
So what do you think?
I think it goes somewhere. I think that there's other dimensions.
Huh?
Yeah, I
think
that
we're allowed to go into, because we're on this one.
I don't know if we can get into the dimensions, but I believe that like there's other people in this room right now, just in another dimension.
Ew! Stop! I won't sleep. Like,
don't you think?
No.
Like, no.
Dude, I don't think like that.
And also, I was thinking about this. We're literally just a fraction, not even a fraction of like existence.
Do you want to know what my favorite things to do?
Like our life, we think it's so long, but it's just it's nothing.
If you want to feel small, like at night when the sky is clear, just go outside and like lay on your back and just look at the stars. And like after a while, after like 15 minutes, you're going to sit there and you're going to get in your head. You're like, oh my God, this is a huge, like we're one galaxy of however many galaxies there are, like countless amounts, right? And then you're like, why am I so upset about this? Why am I so stressed about this? I'm literally like not even a speck.
I know.
On this whole entire existence of
and we
whatever
just
this
trip
is.
out about everything, like anything and everything.
That's a good way to feel grounded.
Guys, by the way, I'm on this website because we kind of ran out of shit to talk about our week. So I wanted to get on. I just typed in interesting topics to talk about with friends.
Also, isn't it so crazy? Like, you know, our friends and family that don't live here, they'll call us and be like, oh, what's new? And you're like, nothing. And they're like, no, something's new. And it's like, everything happens and everything happens so fast that you don't know how to talk about them. Well, it's kind of like when you go to
school and your mom, you get back from school. How was school today? Fine.
Fine.
What'd you guys do? Nothing. Leave me alone.
Seriously.
These are interesting ones about love. These will be good ones to talk about with you.
Let's talk about it, Mark.
Is love a choice or a feeling?
Well, it's both.
I think I do too. I think it starts off as a choice and then it becomes a feeling.
I disagree. I think
what?
It's like when I fall in love with somebody, I can't help it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fallen in love with them.
Yes, you can help it.
No, I cannot.
Don't hang out with them again, and then you're not going to fall in love with them.
Mark, there's been people where I never hang out with them, and I still love them.
But I'm not talking about like, oh yes, I love my mom and dad.
No. Like it's a feeling.
So you're saying you can meet some guy right now and be in love with him?
Well, like it would take more than one time.
Exactly. So it's a choice. You choose to hang out with him again and again and again. You don't just fall in love. Love at first sight is not a real thing.
No, I don't believe in love at first sight. Now you're putting words in my mouth. But if I meet somebody, like say I meet somebody through somebody, right?
Yes.
Okay. I see them 1 or 2 times. I hang out with them. I'm like, oh, I like him. And then I don't see him for like 4 or 5 months, but I always think about him, and he's always on my mind. And I'm like, damn, I really wish like I would run into him again.
You can't say that you love him.
You never know that. I'm crazy, Mark.
It's like when girls go out and they come back and talk to their girlfriends. They're like, I met my husband tonight.
No, but here's why I don't think it's a choice. Like at first is because I can see somebody and be like, oh, you're great. Like I see you have a good group of friends, whatever. I'm going to choose to be with you. But if the feeling is not there, you can lock me in a room with somebody. You feel a connection
at first, but there's no love at first. You're like their energy. You vibe with them. You think they're dope.
Yeah, but you didn't say at first. You just said, is love a choice or a feeling?
That's why I think it starts as a choice and then becomes a feeling.
I think it's a feeling.
Because you don't love someone until like you start to develop like emotions, obviously.
Yeah, and then you can't control it. It's not a choice anymore. It's just like,
well, what about when say you love your girlfriend and you guys break up?
You don't automatically stop loving that person.
Not right away, but with time you stop. Do you think?
I don't know.
Guys, let us know in the comments. It's actually
let us know.
What do you guys think?
Do you ever stop loving somebody that you loved? Do you ever stop? Like say your ex got engaged tomorrow, you wouldn't feel a certain type of way about it?
No,
I know I would, and I'm over it.
And moved on.
Yeah, but I'm over it. But it's still like you shared a certain part of your life with that person. Do you know what I'm saying? It's still like, I don't know.
It's actually this is actually interesting. Well, I try to think of a scenario like, for example, my grandparents passing away.
Yeah.
Do I still love them?
Of course you do.
Yeah, but I don't feel their presence anymore. But when I think about them, obviously I get sad.
Yeah. I don't get sad when I think of my grandma.
Not all the time, whatever. Yeah. It's been 10 years, you miss them, but
you're just like, oh, I wish you were here to like see things like with me and like.
But how can you love something that isn't there anymore? Because
love is a feeling, Mark. I just won this argument.
I don't know. That's interesting. Do you think you should change for someone you love?
Not entirely, but little things you should. Because think about okay, if we were dating and it was like the beginning. Mm-hmm. I'm on my best behavior. You're on your best behavior, right? And then as time passes on,
you find out who they really are.
Yeah, we go back to being like who we really were, and say something about me bothers you, and you tell me multiple times. If it's something little that I can change, why wouldn't I do it? But if it's like a huge thing, like
what's something you wouldn't change for your loved one?
Like my personality. Like if I couldn't be myself.
You can't change your personality.
Yes, you can. A lot of people do. A lot of people try to. When you're like, oh, when you're out in public, don't say that. Don't act like that. Don't wear that.
That's not your personality though. Like
what is it?
Say you yell at me in public. Obviously, I'm going to tell you don't yell at me in public. That's extremely disrespectful and something you shouldn't do.
Yeah, 100%.
That's something you should realize that you should change.
But is that your personality? Yeah, right?
It's just an action. I don't think it's a personality. I think in old podcasts, me and George used to say like, I'm an advocate of being friends with someone first and then deciding if I like them. So then they see who I really am and I see who they really are, rather than going on a date and being so proper and perfect And then you start to find out shit.
Yeah.
And you don't like that about that person. And then it's like, damn, I wish I would have known this shit day one.
But then when you're friends, it's like, listen, you knew me before.
Exactly. And you can't have that excuse.
Yeah.
Unless you don't really know them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these are good questions.
But something you can change is I hate it when people say, like, well, I don't want to do this for, like, I don't want to go hang out with her friends all the time, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, don't you think she's doing a lot of things that she doesn't want to do, but she loves you? So you think she wants to sit and watch a game with you every Sunday? No.
I think a healthy relationship would be like letting me do some, like, you don't have to watch the game with me. You could say no.
But a lot of people want to. Like, oh, come watch a game with me. Or like, oh, come to this work party with me. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. And then when like you ask for something like, oh, I don't want to do it. That's not love.
Yeah, I guess.
You know?
I mean, I'm more of a present of like, hey, do you want to come?
Right.
And if you say no, then I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
but wouldn't you prefer it? If like your
it all
girlfriend
depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been single for a while, so I kind of
Me
just
too.
enjoy. Yeah, I don't really know what a relationship is anymore.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Why do we remember some things so vividly and forget others entirely?
Probably because it, like, the things you remember the most evoked some type of feeling, whether like it was a huge, like, immense feeling of love or like a lot of anger, a lot of trauma. You remember those things.
Right.
But if it's something that just like came by and passed by and it was just like, oh, you know, this was nice, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like, that's why a lot of the times people are like, you can do so much good in your life, but the one time you do bad, people remember it.
Things
why?
that stand out, you remember.
Exactly.
This is why I really enjoy, and I think everyone should film at least some part of every day of their life. And looking back, like, as much as vlogging was taxing and a lot of mentally on me, it's so cool to be able to look at all my old videos and like remember stuff that I definitely would have forgotten. Cool. Like, I can look back and like, I don't even remember most of the days, but I filmed every day. And then I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, now I do remember that day. And it's sick because now my grandkids and shit, if I ever have kids, are going to be able to be like, oh, look what he was doing in LA, 70 years ago. That's pretty cool.
That's why I always take pictures whenever we're out. And there was a time in my life where I'm like, God, I'm always on my phone, always taking pictures, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's always talking, like, everybody's always on their phone. And then I was like, I didn't take pictures for a while. And then when I looked back, I'm like, well, how am I going to remember this? So then I started
Well, it's good to live in the moment. I think there's always a good balance. I mean, when I'm living in the moment and filming, I usually just like hold my phone here and I'm watching it. And if I miss it, then I miss it. But like, there's always that like, oh, everyone always just films everything nowadays. No one cares about like actually experiencing things. They just want to show their friends on social media how dope their life is and how much fun they're having. But like, when I go out, I live in the moment more so. Like
Logan's fight and Sunday service, I pulled my phone out for maybe like 2 minutes max just to film something just so I have it.
Yeah, when I was watching the fight, I was literally just doing this and like watching the fight. I just had my phone up and I wasn't looking to see if the shot was good, you know? What do you think about Instagram taking away likes, speaking of social media?
I really don't care what they do at this point. Like, who cares? I truly don't. Do you care?
No. I mean, I think it'll be a good thing. I think it'll...
Because we post fire pics as it is. You want to see the likes or not?
I don't know. I talked about it. I was on Kevin Hines' podcast the other day. And it does affect you to see your engagement drop. And I'm sure a bunch of people get fucked
affects
up in
you,
that. But it's still like, you're still going to be able to see how many likes you get. Just other people aren't. But you'll be more inclined to post because you'll be like, people won't be judging you. But you should never care about what other people think anyway.
And I like it too because I feel like the Finsta culture, everybody has a Finsta where they post pictures that they know aren't going to do as well on like their page or like whatever. It's cool that the organic feel is going to come back to Instagram. But also, there's another motive why that's happening, and I really want to know why.
What?
There's another motive why Instagram's doing this. It's not just to like...
Yeah, that's actually interesting
to think about. They have to like monetize on it. Something has to happen where it's like, why now?
That is interesting.
Yes.
Because Shots was a app back in the day. It was our friend Johnny and Justin Bieber's app. And they were an anti-bullying app. And their whole approach was no likes, no comments. And that app didn't succeed. So I wonder why Instagram's now implementing it after knowing that it didn't succeed.
Right.
Several years ago.
Something's brewing.
Yeah, everybody's moving to TikTok. That's why Instagram's doing something. Here's a thought-provoking question.
Tell me.
Are you still you if everyone looks at you differently? Even if you remain exactly as you are right now, if you could flick a magical switch in everyone else's mind so that your perceptions of you were different, would you still be the same person? In other words, is a part of you, of who we are, contained within the way that we are seen by the rest of the world?
Okay. If you asked me this 2 years ago, I'd say I would change 100%. But now it's like I don't really care what people think.
No, but I'm saying, are you still who?
I'll still be myself.
But everyone thinks of you differently and has different opinions about you. So who are you really? That's a good question. That's a trip. That's a mind trip.
Question. I think I'd still be myself. I know myself, and that's
crazy because we're different people to different people.
Yeah,
like I'm a different person to
so many different people.
Yeah,
so many different.
Like
people.
someone could talk shit about me and say that I'm a dick or whatever, and another person could say I'm the sweetest guy ever.
I don't think you would change either.
I mean, I am who I am.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't change. Yeah.
But I also, to other people, you're a different person. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you meet people every single day. And, like, I've seen you hang out. Like, you don't really change. You're not different.
Yeah, but I'm so much different. I've hung out with, like, groups of friends with people. And then I've hung out with people one-on-one. And they're like, wow, like, you're so much different one-on-one.
Yeah. But you don't change. It's just their perception of you changes.
They just see me in a different situation, I guess.
So you don't change. You're still who you are. It's just people
But am
get
I
that
a different
one-on-one.
person? I am different, though. I am different when I one-on-one hang out with someone versus when I'm group hanging out.
Well, yeah, because you're not sharing your energy with 70 other people. It's just one-on-one. Like me talking to you right now was completely different than us on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know? So you don't change. It's just different situation.
But who am I really?
I don't know, Mark. Answer that question yourself.
I know. Has the human race stopped evolving altogether? You know, evolution, how we were like once gorillas and now we're humans. Do you think we'll ever evolve?
Have we yet?
I don't know. I think we aren't done evolving. Here's why. I think we're going to evolve. Hear me out. Our necks are going to be down. Because we're always on our phones.
You guys, we all have lines on our necks too. It's so bad.
We're all always on our phones. So I feel like when babies start to be born, they're just going to start to be born with their heads down.
Stop.
That's my theory. I've been saying it.
You know,
obviously it'll take time, but like.
Do you know what my theory has been? And it always freaked me out. Like the robot movies have always freaked me out. The one with Will Smith, is it iRobot?
I think so.
Freaks me out. Wall-E freaks me out. And I always thought, I'm like, oh my God, our bones are going to dissolve into like tiny bones. It's all going to be fat because we're just going to be sitting on like a TV or a computer, just not doing anything.
So you think we're just going to be bones?
No, their bones are like this small and the rest is like fat because they're not moving. They're just constantly on. Have you never seen Wall-E?
No.
What?
Don't watch cartoons.
It's a Disney Pixar movie.
Exactly.
So it's a great movie. No, but basically the gist of it, it's like post, whatever, the huge
apocalyptic.
Thank you.
There you go.
And they're in space now. Whoever was saved is in space in this huge like spaceship thing, and they're all like big fat like blobs on these like chairs that are just like hovering. And everything they need, they can just order it or they can do it from the computer.
Damn.
That's what's going to happen to us.
Yeah, I think the neck thing, and I think probably something with our hands just because we're always holding our phones. So I'm wondering if our hands are going to evolve to be different.
What's after the phone? Have you ever thought about I think about this way too often. Like what's going to be, like what is this going to turn into? Because think about it. This is the huge video, the camcorders that our moms used to film us with, the cameras, calculators, cassette players, CD players.
I think I mean, everybody's thought is it's just going to be virtual.
Or it's going to be like implanted?
You can get it implanted in you or whatever. Just like you can have some, like, I mean, I'm sure a phone could eventually turn into a ring.
Yeah.
Where you just hold up your ring and then the screen's out here projected like a hologram. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you never even have to like carry anything with you. And if you get a text message, you could just literally open up your hand and then there's like a projection out.
The future freaks me out.
Yeah. But
and that's a song. That's a song. The future freaks me out.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that'll be the future.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that wraps up. We got into some interesting conversations.
Some interesting tidbits.
Hopefully we can have a guest on next week to spice things up a little bit. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Two Woman Show.
The Woman Show.
The woman, whatever the fuck it is now. I don't even know what the hell it's called.
Mark isn't even wearing shoes to this thing anymore. What's happening?
It's casual. It's a casual show. But we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.